Hi, folks. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started right at 2 o'clock. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started in just another minute right at the top of the hour. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Christina Barajas. I am the Sustainability Manager for Mactac, and I am very excited to be talking to you all today about the Mactac Simply Sustainable products that we have to offer. Please feel free to utilize the chat for any questions that you may have as we're going through, and I'll be happy to answer some at the end of this presentation. So without further ado, all right. So On sustainability, it's about our process and people first and foremost. With guidance under the Lintech Group, we aim for opportunities to evaluate and expand Mactac sustainability program to further reduce our footprint, inspire our employees, and showcase the value we provide to customers in their quest to meet the environmental needs of end users. So currently, Mactac is on a CO2 reduction journey across all of our sites. We are on a mission to have a 30% reduction in our CO2 emissions by 2030. So protecting the natural environment through our CO2 reduction at our manufacturing sites isn't just the whole story. When we look at sustainability, we need to look at both our environmental and social activities that we have. So it starts with building a culture that values and celebrates responsible innovation. So what does that mean? So our Simply Sustainable brand chooses our environmental best practices so we can be ingrained in everything that we do. From a social standpoint, it's giving back to our community across all of our sites, including our Adopt a Family during the holidays. As you can see from the picture to the right, we had a big showing of gifts for families. Food drives, fundraising for local animal shelters. We're currently fundraising and collecting goods for folks right now at our Stowe facility. You know, lots of good things for the community. And then from an environmental standpoint, determining best options to reduce our landfill waste and make on-site recycling easier for all associates. So not just the products that we offer, but what we do internally as well. And with our internal processes that we go through, it is our membership and participation in various groups, such as the Association of Plastic Recyclers, or APR, C-Lab, FSC, and TLMI. So from a product standpoint, so as you can see from the video, our first focus is around PET and HDPE. So APR, the Association of Plastic Recyclers, has critical guidance, and our two offerings that we have meet and exceed the critical guidance requirements that are needed for it. So through testing with PET plastics, the labels need to float off of PET containers during the washing process for recycling, leaving no adhesive residue behind. So our Pure Float for PET containers, we have two different constructions that are available, and those are best for, you know, your water bottles, your plastic clamshells, those kind of PET containers. From an HDPE standpoint, the label needs to remain in place during the recycling process. So while PET you want it to float off, with HDPE you want it to stay on the container without impacting the physical properties of the recycled HDPE pellets for pigmented applications. So we do have 14 different constructions, and we are very excited to announce that we have the first hot melt offering for HDPE recycling through APR guidance. So we have our chill as well as our ST95 that fall under for HDPE containers. And those are like your laundry detergent containers, shampoo bottles, anything with that, the chasing triangle number 2 on it. Outside from just PET and HDPE, we do offer thinner liners. So the first offering is our Bloom High Impact, and that provides 30% less materials going to landfill. So thinner liner products reduce environmental impact and provide up to 15% more labels per roll. So the more labels that you have on your roll, the more roll you end up receiving, less trucking that you have to do, less packaging materials. You end up having more, more footage versus what you may currently be purchasing. So do talk to your sales representative with how much you can save on that. We do have a calculator, as you can see to the right, showcasing how, what you may currently be purchasing versus the thinner liner, high impact liner, how much more roll you end up receiving based on, the same kind of purchase, and what kind of weight savings you may have overall for that. So again, less shipment, less packing materials, less ending up going to landfill or potentially liner recycling, depending on if you have that capability for your site. Another offering is our Vivid polyester liners. That's a 1.2 mil PET liner, providing 21% more footage per roll. So the thinner liner reduces freight, less shipments because there's more labels per roll, as well as that packaging waste. So very similar to the Bloom, you end up with fewer cores, fewer cartons, less wrapping, less material that you have to be concerned about. How am I going to go about either recycling or landfilling? And we have 18 different constructions available with the Vivid polyester liner. From a renewable resource standpoint, Mactac uses greater than 20% of renewable resources when formulating our Chill AT and Pure Apply adhesives. So, you heard that Chill AT be brought up around the HDPE recycling material. You also have that with greater than 20% renewable materials being made for that adhesive. In addition, we also offer post-consumer waste products. So post-consumer waste, or PCW, is generated after a product has been used and disposed of by a consumer. So we have 11 different constructions with PCW content ranging from 10 to 80%. So definitely something that you'd want to check out and maintaining that kind of circular economy. And then recycling compatible adhesives, or RCAs. So our ST95 and our 640 AT adhesives paired with paper face stocks pass the TLMI LRP2 lab testing protocol. So what that means is that when your label with that adhesive is applied to paper and it's using a paper face stock, it can be recycled and the paper is repulpable. So think of your corrugated cardboard boxes, your packing materials, that utilize paper, so paper envelopes, things like that. All of that would end up being recyclable, and the label would not have to be removed. And then finally, our last sustainable product offering is FSC, or the Forest Stewardship Council available products. So FSC ensures that products come from responsibly managed forests. The FSC chain of custody certification traces the path of a product from the forest through the supply chain. So new FSC available face stocks are updating frequently, and we are anticipating 60% of our products will be FSC by the end of Q1. But do continue to look at our website. We are making updates continually of additional FSC products as they become available. I did want to thank you for joining me today to learn all about our Simply Sustainable product offerings. If you need additional information about a particular Simply Sustainable product, do reach out to your Mactac or Spinnaker sales representative for more information, or visit our mactac.com/roll label sustainability for the latest and greatest. So all of the items that I talked about today are listed on there for you to be able to get some more detail around the particular products. In addition, after this presentation, you will be receiving a very, very brief survey. If you could please, it would be highly beneficial for those of us in sustainability to hear back from you, so we can better serve you and get you the information that you would need on any particular products that you would be interested in. And that is all that I have.
Thank you, Christina. This was a nice short presentation, kind of go over the hot topics that our sales team is discussing with you today. So if you have any further questions, please reach out to your sales representative. But we do have a couple questions that we want to ask Christina about the presentation. So our first one is, can I tell my customers that a product is FSC certified if you have it certified, but we aren't certified ourselves?
Thank you for that question, Brittany. Unfortunately, you would not be able to carry that through from an FSC certification. So how FSC works is from where the material, where the trees are removed from, to the pulping, to making the rolls, to eventually it coming to us and us coating it and getting it to you. We are one link on a very long chain that carries through certification. So if receiving an FSC product from us, if you do not also have FSC certification, you cannot carry through that FSC chain of custody number. You'd have to have your own to then, continue on that chain. But if you're interested in knowing more about FSC, do feel free to reach out.
Perfect, thank you. So going to the HDPE recycling, let's talk about the inks. Do they need to stay on or wash off?
So typically for HDPE, you'd want it to stay on as it goes through the process. Now, if you have an ink and it is not from the APR, design guide as being also an accepted tested ink to go onto a tested HDPE label, you would have to go through that testing through APR. And their design guide is very thorough, gives exactly what kind of the testing that needs to be completed for it to ensure that, it's not, you wouldn't be essentially wasting time having an HDPE label, but a non-HDPE accepted ink. So it wouldn't be an accepted recyclable at that point.
Great. Would any of that change with PET recycling?
It'd be very similar for PET recycling.
Very similar for PET recycling. Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Another question we have are your HDPE labels also approved for clear HDPE containers?
At this time, APR only has a design guide around colored HDPE containers. So your clear HDPE containers do not have a design guide through the APR that we've been able to test against. So at this time, those HDPE labels would not be for clear containers, only colored HDPE containers.
Thank you. Just a reminder, we have a side chat box. If you want to submit any questions, feel free. Christina, are you getting any top questions from customers repeatedly over and over again that you would like to use this platform to answer today?
I know some of the questions have already, come through. A lot of it is, why a hot melts offering when other folks have not. And to be able to answer that question, it's really around, the market demand. It was, one group started to offer an acrylic and it sort of cascaded from there. And we wanted to say, hey, you know what, no matter what application you need, whether it's hot melt or acrylic, we wanted to be able to offer both. So that's why we went through the process on testing both for folks. And both of them did pass. So the ST95 and that Chill AT are now available.
Yes, that's awesome to share. Thank you. I've got a couple more questions that came in. You mentioned ST95 on paper face stock is recyclable and repulpable. Does that apply with direct thermal?
As long as it's a paper face stock, yes. Yes, if it's a paper face stock that goes onto a paper or corrugated material, then yes, it would be considered repulpable and recyclable.
Thanks. Next question. Are all the available options offered exact or trimless, or is a minimum master required?
That is a phenomenal question for your sales representative. They will be able to provide you the specifics regarding whichever particular, material is of interest, whether it's the pure float or, the chill. They'll be able to provide you with that level of detailed information.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, I think that is, we've got another question coming through. On the paper fact sheets with SC95 with thermal transfer printing have any effect on the recyclability?
As long as it is like I said, if it's the ST95 with the paper face, you would be able to have it be repulpable and recyclable on a paper material. If there's something beyond, like a question on if there would be ink interference or anything like that, I would just need a little bit more specific detail if you want to reach out afterwards, and I can look into that for sure for you. No problem.
Like we said, we'll have this recorded and you'll be seeing an email from us soon with this recording. Again, reach out to your sales rep if you have any information. They can connect you with Christina on any specific questions you might have. And then follow up with a quick survey just to help us understand what needs you have and what kind of products you are looking for, just so that we can better assist you on your own sustainable journey. So thank you, Christina.
Excellent. Thank you, Brittany. And thank you all for joining today.